Good afternoon, Asbury, and welcome to Newswatch 3. I'm Haley Anderson, here to give you your weekly campus update. At the beginning of April, the Asbury Collegian released their regular newspaper, but it looked a little different. In case you missed it, in one of the most recent issues of the Collegian, it's fully April Fool's themed. What this means is that all of the articles in the issue are supposed to be a prank on the students. The issue contains plenty of silly articles, such as an article about an alleged fight club between the university and the seminary, written by Bryce Martin, and a very somber editorial by Anna Lowe telling students to just give up. So if you're in need of a good laugh, make sure to grab that issue and the newest edition from the 8th. With the most anticipated event of the year coming up soon, reporter Rachel Law is inside Hughes Auditorium, where the Highbridge Film Festival will take place. Good afternoon, Rachel.
Good afternoon, Haley, and good afternoon, Asbury. The biggest event of the year is coming up quickly on April 23rd at 7 p.m. Asbury is expecting a huge turnout right here in Hughes Auditorium for this year's Highbridge Film Festival. Alongside guest judges Mandy Hart, Joel McCrary, and James Covell, audience members will have the chance to view original student films with a regained sense of normalcy. After the viewing party will be the notorious after party in the Black Box Theater. Tickets are on sale now for $15 in the CAF kiosk up until the 23rd. Be sure to get your tickets before they sell out. With Newswatch 3, I'm Rachel Law. Back to you, Haley.
Thanks, Rachel. We really appreciate those updates on Highbridge. The Highbridge Film Festival schedule is full of events to attend, and Asbury students are getting very excited. Addie Smith has more in today's top story.
The countdown to Highbridge is on. With COVID restrictions lifted, students are ready to experience a maskless Highbridge.
There were a lot of restrictions due to COVID protocols and stuff, so I'm really excited to see what it's going to be like this year.
I'm very excited, mask mandates are up. We're able to really just have fun.
Leading up to Saturday, you have two opportunities to see the 10-minute play festival on Thursday and Friday at 9 p.m. in the Great House Theater for $5 admissions. Check out the Highbridge Film Festival schedule to see what other things are going on.
Films and just the awards are being handed out, live music, people are going to be there, pictures, it's going to be a good old time.
I'm really excited to see what it's going to be like this year. I hear it's going to be super fun.
In Wilmore, I am Addie Smith, Newswatch 3.
Hope to see you guys there.
After some interesting weather patterns in the beginning of April, you never know what you're going to get. Chief Forecaster Lucy Bryson has more on what weather on campus will look like this week. Hey, Lucy.
Hey Haley, and good afternoon, Asbury. Like Haley said, April brought in some interesting weather patterns, and it definitely brought in a lot of rain. So what we're going to be seeing this week is a lot of showers, but ushering into Easter weekend, we're going to have some nice and sunny days for the holiday. Let's take a look at today. Today we're going to be seeing a lot more showers and a lot more thunderstorms, similar to what we're going to be seeing kind of for the rest of the week, but the temperature is going to be sitting in that mid-70s, but we're going to have rain, and more rain on campus. Looking at tonight, the temperature is just going to drop slightly, but those showers are going to be continuing on through the evening, as they are going to be for these next couple days of the week. The temperature is going to be sitting in the mid-50s, but those showers are going to be continuing on into our Wednesday, where our Wednesday will be sitting at about 75 degrees, just like it was on today. And those showers are going to still be coming down, but it's going to be another rainy day as we move into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thursday, as you can tell, it's going to be raining once again, with temperatures dropping into those mid to upper 60s with a high of 67 and a low of 58. We're going to be seeing some of those thunderstorms, so make sure to keep that umbrella handy for the first couple days of the week. As we go into Friday, which is Good Friday, Asbury has no classes that day, so a lot of people are going to possibly be traveling back home. That's going to be a clear day with a couple of clouds in the sky. Finally, the rain is going to be slowing down and hopefully stopping completely. The temperatures are going to dip down a little bit into 65 degrees as the high, and 46 degrees is the low. Saturday, we're going to see a little bit more showers, but stopping in those thunderstorms, with temperatures sitting at the high of 64 and a low of 63. And as we enter into Easter Sunday, the temperatures are going to be a little bit cooler at about 56 degrees and a low of 42, but the sun's going to be out and just a little bit of clouds are going to be in the sky. So we can be thankful that it's not going to be a rainy Easter like it is going to be the week coming into Easter. Well, Asbury, I hope you guys have a great time with your families or whoever you all are spending Easter with. We'll see you next week.
Well, it looks like an interesting week in weather. Thanks, Lucy. Now let's turn it over to Asa with our sports update.
Thanks, Haley. The Asbury baseball team won big on Sunday, defeating Alice Lloyd College 21-1. This 20-run victory is the Eagles' largest this season, topping the 19-0 win over Barrera College in early March. Asbury baseball's next game will be on Wednesday, April 13th against Barrera College. This weekend, men's tennis traveled to Ohio to take on Kenyon College and the 13th-ranked team in the nation, Denison University. Unfortunately, the Eagles fell short in both matches, losing 1-8 and 0-9, moving the season record to 11 wins and 4 losses. And their next match will be on April 21st against Midway University. Tragedy struck early Saturday morning when Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins was struck by a dump truck while crossing a Florida interstate highway. Haskins was in South Florida practicing with Steelers teammates Mitchell Trubisky and Najee Harris. It is unknown why Haskins was crossing the busy highway so early in the morning, but the investigation is still ongoing. Haskins was just 24 at the time of his passing. Our deepest condolences go out to his family and loved ones. On Sunday in Augusta, Georgia, a new Masters champion was crowned. The #1 golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, earned his first major title in green jacket this weekend. Scheffler shot 10 under par, beating Irish golfer Rory McIlroy by 3 strokes, even after a surprising 4-putt on the last green. Although the spotlight is on Scheffler now, it was initially focused on Tiger Woods, who shockingly surprised the world by playing in this year's Masters after being in a career-ending accident in February of 2021. The 5-time Masters champion finished 13 over par and has committed to playing the next major on the 2022 PGA Tour. That is all the time we have for sports for today. Back to you, Haley.
Thanks, Asa. And an update on the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Russian troops are gathering in eastern Ukraine, and there is word a railway station has been shelled. So far, there has been no word of casualties. As you can see on the map, there are several areas still contested. A senior Ukrainian official says the offensive in the Donbas region has already begun, and Ukrainian civilians are being warned to flee. A regional military governor says a Russian strike destroyed the airport in the city of Dnipro. He said the airport and nearby infrastructure have been demolished, but the rockets keep flying. In Kentucky news, Covington, Kentucky police have a 17-year-old suspect in custody after shooting hospitalized on Monday. 3 of the people wounded were children, including a 14-year-old girl who is listed in critical but stable condition after being shot in the neck. Courtney Francisco spoke to a friend of the wounded teenager who witnessed the violence.
My best friend was fighting, and they all started jumping in, and it was uncontrollable. I didn't get to the ground. I just ran. I started running immediately, and then I turned around, everyone screaming and crying.
Her 14-year-old friend was on the ground.
I went straight to her.
A gunshot to her neck.
That was the main place that was bleeding, so that's the only place that I was touching was her neck. She was going in and out, and I was scared, and I knew she was scared. Like, you have to be scared. You're 14 years old, and you sitting here thinking you about to die.
We are not showing you this teenager's face for her protection.
I was just talking to her. I was trying to calm her down. I was like, you're going to be okay. You're going to have a lot of stories to tell. You're going to live through this. Like, just breathe. Just stay with me.
Also shot a 7-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a man police believe is that child's family member, 41-year-old Thomas Brown.
It's traumatizing.
Police booked Brown into jail the next day. His warrant revealed today. Police say videos show Brown and several others assembled to watch 2 teen girls fight. It says more people jumped in and Brown pulled a gun and fired it into the air. That's when police say another person pulled a gun and fired shots.
Guns didn't have to get involved in it though. Like, it was never that serious.
Police suspect that second shooter was a 17-year-old who turned himself into detectives today.
The attitude towards violence these days is escalated to a level that I never thought I would see in my career.
You got to know how to fight living in Covington, and if you don't know how to fight, you better go get a gun. And that's what everybody's been doing. Like, that's the only resolution, and we too young to be doing it, but that's what everybody thinks is okay now. I don't feel like there's much that we can do. You can't go to every house, knock on every door, confiscate every weapon, and talk to every child and tell them they can't fight, they can't do this, they can't do that. At the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. So, I mean, they got to want to help themselves first before they can help the rest of us.
Family members accompanied the 17-year-old suspect when he turned himself into Covington police. Prosecutors want to charge him as an adult, but he is still listed as a juvenile in the court system. In another dispute about healthcare worker wages, hundreds of nurses picketed outside Howard University in Washington, D.C. Monday morning. About 300 of them held a one-day strike to protest low wages and staff shortages. The nurses say the hospital currently has about 100 unfilled job openings. They have also been without a contract since November. The hospital CEO says negotiations have been ongoing and there have been nearly 24 bargaining sessions. He also points out the nurses received average pay increases of 9.6% last week. The CEO promises patient care is not being impacted while the nurses are striking. Since COVID, there has been more conflict in the medical industry, with many saying they are overworked and underpaid. A new U.S. study finds most U.S. dog owners do not know how to safely handle pet food and dishes, and that can affect you and your family's health too, with an increased risk of foodborne illness. The study found 95% of more than 400 dog owners were not aware of the Food and Drug Administration's guidelines for the safe handling of pet food. That includes washing your hands before and after handling pet food or treats, preparing dog food on separate surfaces from the ones used for human food, and not using the feeding bowl as a scoop. You're also supposed to wash and dry food bowls and scoops after each use. The study tested nearly 70 dog food dishes for bacteria, before and after, giving 3 different sets of instructions for handling food. It found significantly less bowl contamination from owners who followed the FDA food handling guidelines. The study was published Wednesday in the journal PLOS One. An art exhibit all about Peeps, those springtime marshmallow confections, has returned in Racine, Wisconsin. And some of the art covers a very serious subject. James Groh takes a peep.
You must not think of them as conventional candy per se. You need to think of them as a method to an end.
In this gallery, Peeps are the art and they're the medium. It's the 13th annual International Peeps exhibition. Some of the art here is made out of food, but you don't want to eat it. These Peeps have been painted and glued. However, that doesn't stop hungry visitors from trying them.
Every now and then we'll come in and we'll find a Peep is missing, and we know somebody's either taken it or chomped on it.
There are 162 entries to the gallery and competition this year. The art must be made out of Peeps or about Peeps, so it can be like this diorama or a painting of Peeps. Winners get the golden Peep. While it is a competition, it's not really about winning or prizes. It's about making art in a different way.
I like it because of the happiness that it brings to people.
This Peep art is just fun and colorful. My favorite was the Peeps roasting what looks like other Peeps over the fire. The gallery helps usher in the beginning of spring. There are Peeps camping, Peep animatronics, and even Peeps on a video chat call. Plus, this year, there's an entire section about the invasion of Ukraine.
So there are many pieces about freedom and rights, and then recreation. So people are speaking to all aspects of their life here.
The Peep exhibit runs through April 23rd. Well, we thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Asbury Newswatch 3, news by the students and for the students. For Newswatch 3, I'm Haley Anderson, and to all of Asbury, we look forward to seeing you next week.